Viewers have been emailing and calling the station regarding the infestation of these tiny little bugs all throughout the Borderland. Today I went out and took a look for myself to find out exactly what's going on. Brianna Alarcon told me that when her rock wall fell down in her backyard, the bugs showed up, blanketing her back wall and eventually migrating past the pool and finally onto her house. The exterminator sprayed, but the bugs were still on the back side of the wall today.
Like an infestation with biblical proportions. The whole wall, the whole siding, the windows, they were just covered in bugs. The floor looked like it was moving.
I spoke with Denise Rodriguez, who works with the Texas A&M AgriLife. She said the bugs are called false chinch bugs. The critters eat on mustard and pepper weeds, and due to the wet March we had, there's a lot of food for them. They are a nuisance, but not dangerous.
There's nothing to be worried about as long as you take your general precautions with any kind of insect that you're out and come into contact with them. But treat these more like a nuisance, like a housefly, kind of just getting in your way, but they're just going about their business and they'll be gone in no time.
Coming up at 6, I'll have more on this bug nuisance throughout the Borderland. Here on the west side of El Paso, I'm Will Heron, ABC 7.
The walls looked like they were moving. Yeah, it was that dense of a blanket of bugs.
Brianna Alacron's property has gone buggy.
Like an infestation with biblical proportions. The whole wall, the whole siding, the windows, they were just covered in bugs.
They didn't stop there either. On the way to the house, it looked like they threw a pool party.
The pool was just covered in bugs. I mean, eventually they sunk.
The exterminator told Alacron that when the rock wall came down, that might have stirred up the bugs, which then came out and migrated over towards her house. I wanted to know what was going on, so I contacted Denise Rodriguez with Texas A&M AgriLife.
Yes, we've been getting a lot of calls from around our area on this infestation that people have been seeing. And yes, they are called false chinch bugs. So because we had such a wet spring, we had a lot of these mustards and pepper weeds sprout up in our areas, whether they're in yards or in adjacent fields for these insects to eat on. So we're seeing them in larger numbers.
I wanted to know if they were a danger to people.
There's nothing to be worried about as long as you take your general precautions with any kind of insect that you're out and come into contact with them. But treat these more like a nuisance, like a housefly, kind of just getting in your way, but they're just going about their business and they'll be gone in no time.
Will Heron, ABC 7.